Like, really what we're talking about is the female experience, which you can't speak to.
Yeah, but I can speak to the male experience. The male experience, I would think, would be able to speak much more highly as to how many men would actually be determined to do some harm to you if you were in the middle of a forest and they came across you in the forest.
You're right, but this is a podcast of women, and we're talking about women, so that's why.
Well, it's a podcast of women, but there's clearly men on the panel. It's not our job to kiss your ass because you're a woman. I'm having an adult conversation with you. I don't know why I need to look at everything from feminist standpoint theory or from your perspective when you so easily dismiss mine. I'm telling you that your number is absurd. It makes no sense. And as you retract it, you very quickly retracted it because you realized how absurd it was. Why would you say that I have to be a woman in order to speak to this? That seems insane.
The whole argument of you're not X, so you can't talk about X experience is absurd. It's just a way to shut down conversations so that you don't challenge them on their stupidity. And I'm also confused as to the fact that how does she know whether he's a man or a woman when he never told her pronouns? And if she's to follow the nonsense that she believes in, she should have asked for his pronouns first before assuming.
This is probably one of the weirdest arguments that white people make on a regular basis. Because white people will just blatantly disrespect us when a black voice is literally telling you, like, hey, don't do this. And then you're just like, why? I do it all the time and nothing happened. Like, what do you mean nothing happened? Like, do you mean nobody beat your fucking ass? Like, do we need to assault you in order to give us basic human respect? Do you mean nobody put their hands on you? Do you mean nobody felt comfortable enough to say something to you? Because as a white person, you're a fucking threat. So us saying something to you in person is literally putting us at risk? Do you mean nobody put themselves in a position to where you can play a victim, act like a white woman, call the cops, and get us killed for it? Is that what you mean when you say nothing happened? White people are not only so used to being included everything, but also us literally accommodating for them. And y'all wonder why I say keep black spaces black. Like, why are white people so fucking entitled to shit that literally doesn't make sense for you? This is a traditional African hairstyle. It's made for kinky hair, which you do not have, Samantha. There is literally a white people version of this. I've seen it everywhere on the internet. I'm sure that you have too. But you don't fucking care. You want to do everything that we do because a black kid said that you can't. You think giving black people the power of having your respect is taking the power away from you. And that is a slave master mentality. You're sick in the head, friend. Go see a therapist.
It's funny how we went from segregation to black and white people coming together and being with each other and being allowed to share things with one another. And now years later, we have come to 2024 where we are now allowing segregation again. But this time it's from black people to white people. Make it make sense.
Here, it's like every single day, you guys. And this is what I complain about all the time.
And here we go.
Yeah, your name's Alex, and I'm going to be talking to your manager. This guy called me sir. This happens every day. Everywhere I go, I get called sir.
It is.
Why would you call a chick big ass tits? Wait, what? Did you call me sir again? What was that? You said good night, sir?
Call me sir, damn it.
And I'm walking out and you're like, have a good night, sir? What the f is that? No!
No!
You don't f***ing do this to trans people. This is discrimination. I'm f***ing done with it.
We're f***ing done professionally.
It's like if you call the person of color the N-word.
Sure.
Cis people need to be held accountable for how they treat trans people.
You've got to do better.
You're crazy, bro. You're f***ing, don't call me f***ing bro.
What's up, bro? What, bro? What's up, bro?
Stop f***ing throwing slurs at me, you f***ing piece of shit.
Have a good night, sis.
No, f*** you. I ain't your sis, I ain't your f***ing bro. You don't even f***ing know me.
Man, don't act like you know me.
This is transphobia.
We
right here at the top.
the store, okay?
Yeah, you know, you ever heard blasphemy.
We have some very interesting individuals that are walking on earth, and this guy seems to be one of them, and he would have came for me because of the fact that I said guy as well. But he needs to understand that he doesn't need to get triggered. People use terms like bro and guy, and they use it for men and women, and it doesn't necessarily mean he's calling you a man, even though you are one.
You need one example of one thing that's ever been given out for free by the government, because there's nothing that's free. It's paid for by somebody at some point at some level of distribution.
How about Jeff Bezos, who has like $50 billion or something? He can afford to pay for that, right?
How did Jeff Bezos get his money?
By exploiting his laborers and not paying them enough.
If he's exploiting them, why do they work for him?
Because they don't have another opportunity.
But have you ever used Amazon?
No, I actually,
Never.
No, I don't buy
from
them.
You use Starbucks,
Okay.
So Starbucks, that's a billionaire. You know how rich Howard Schultz is? So you're participating in his exploitation.
Starbucks has better working conditions for their employees, though.
Well, how do you know that?
Because they have like a $15 minimum wage.
Wait, so Starbucks billionaire good, Amazon billionaire bad.
I would not like either of them to be billionaires.
Then why are you buying Starbucks? You're participating in the market economy.
Well, it's impossible to buy things without participating in the market economy.
You could have went to a farmer's market. You could have bought something outside.
There's no farmer's market here.
There's no local coffee in Columbus at all.
No,
There's
not near my house.
non-billionaire coffee distributors. The point is, it's very easy to critique billionaires while you swish your Starbucks latte back and forth, made possible by a guy that wanted to become a billionaire. Why? Because of a profit motive.
This was made possible by the workers who made it, not by some guy.
No, it's actually made possible by you, the consumer. The workers wouldn't have a job if you didn't buy their product.
The thing about liberals is they love complaining about how everyone is being taken advantage of while they participate in people being taken advantage of. But the thing about them is they love to point fingers at everyone else other than themselves. It's very convenient to complain about everyone else and how capitalism is evil while they actively engage in capitalism and they don't actually try and find other alternatives as to how to provide for themselves. Very easy to do, isn't it?
I know you're so oppressed, my dears. I know life is so hard for you. You have to live in the richest, most equitable, most just country in the history of the world. You have to get a college education. You have to voluntarily go to lectures. It's so awful. I can't imagine that, the people who are in war-torn nations, they must truly pity you. Goodbye. Goodbye then. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your support, but I'm not that intimidated by these guys.
I love the way Michael Knowles handled the whole situation, and this is how these people need to be handled. They need to be handled like the children that they are.
Better fucking run.
Why? I don't think I'll have to run, quite frankly. No offense to your speed abilities.
Oh, you think so?
I think I'm probably faster walking backwards.
Before we get back into the video, I need everyone to turn on their post notifications so that you get notified whenever one of my videos come out. Like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. Let us get back into the video.
I just got back from delivering 11 pizzas to a church, and the order total was $101. Guess how much they tipped me? It's not okay.
Well, I don't really blame them.
I do have a child that identifies as a cat. He is 14 years old. And then I also have a 5-year-old daughter, and she just came out to me as a lesbian earlier this week. And then I also have a 7-month-old that I don't know their gender or sexuality yet because they're too young to decide. They can't even talk yet. So my son, the 14-year-old that identifies as a cat, his name is Hermie. And then my middle daughter, my middle child, her name's Clydia. And then my youngest name is Plushie. So I used a gender-neutral name for my last kid since I decided I was going to raise them with they/them pronouns because I didn't want to assume their gender. Since my other 2 kids are part of the LGBT community, I wanted to make life easier for my youngest kid.
I've been seeing a lot of people in my comment section saying that she's just joking, and even if it is the case, there are genuinely people on this earth who would say the things that she's saying and believe the things that they are saying coming out of their mouths.
How do I have an opinion? Well, the same opinion that allows me to believe that racism is wrong even though I'm not a black person, allows me to believe that abortion is wrong even though I'm not a woman.
As I've been saying, I've been hearing this argument a lot of people saying because you're not X, you can't speak on X subject. To be honest, all we would need to do in this situation is just use their whole ideology against them and just say that you identify as X and now you can speak on X subject. It's really that simple.
All you Karens out there who have your panties in a bunch about the fact that doctors are starting to use the term pregnant person instead of pregnant women, I want you to listen up. Women are people. Non-binary people and trans men are also people. So this term includes everyone that was born with a uterus and could be pregnant. It has nothing to do with not being a feminist or protecting women's rights. We want to be inclusive to all people born with a uterus.
Whether this is an edit or not, I see rainbow hair, I reject the opinion. And if this person is a doctor, we are completely doomed if they're believing in this nonsense as well.
Nah, bro, I'm not gonna ooh-woo for you. Ooh, woo. What the fuck? It has officially been 4 years since I showered with soap. And I love it. I love it. 4 years. I haven't showered with soap since the year of 2020. I had dealt with bad pH balance issues like a lot. And then I did a little research. I had saw some other women were dealing with the same issues, and they were saying that they only shower with water. And I was looking at them how a lot of y'all probably looking at me right now like, girl, you just shower with water? You don't put soap down there? And I'm like, no. That's how I was looking. I was like, what? Not knowing that was the issue for me, at least. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm just going off my experience. So anyway, so I tried it out, of course. And I said, I'm going to try this out for a couple of, you know what I'm saying, days, just to see how it works. Because your girl down there, I was doing all the bad stuff. All the bad stuff, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I was washing with soap down there real hard all my life. I was putting baby powder down there. I was putting dish down there. I was putting vinegar down there. I was doing everything.
I don't even have to be there in person with her, and I can smell a lot of unsavory things through this screen.
Why do men not understand hints? Why do I have to spell every fucking thing out? Fucking understand what I'm trying to say? I don't want to have to spell everything out like I'm your mother.
I've been hearing a lot lately that apparently women are the ones who are great at communication. Yeah, I hear things like this and see many more things like this coming out of women's mouths about how we should be able to read their minds, but they're supposedly the communicators of the human race.
Women are very easily propagandized. I always say that's like, the bad news is women are easily propagandized, but the good news is that women are easily propagandized, so we can like push it back the other direction. But like if you look at women's voting patterns, it tends to be like, oh, I want to take care of everyone, I want to be nice. Women will not vote for someone who's bald. Women will not vote for someone who's short. Women will not vote for someone who's not tan. Like when they look at women's voting patterns, it tends to be based on all kinds of other things, whereas men are more like about policy, logic, and things like that.
I think if women have had a personal issue with a policy, they're more willing to vote that way instead of looking at the greater good for society.
Right. Yeah. Women do personalize everything. Yeah. They're not very good at abstract thinking.
No offense to all the women out there, not all women are the same, but she was speaking absolute facts.
I don't know who needs this reminder, but apparently a lot of y'all do. I am not a man. I am not assigned male at birth. I am an assigned female at birth, femme, non-binary person. If there is a choice between a man and a bear, I'm the one that gets to choose. Also, so it's not a choice. Stop fucking saying, oh my God, I would totally choose the bear over you just because I'm standing up for liberation. Okay? You don't get to choose between me and the bear. Okay? I get to choose between a man and a bear. And if anything, I am the fucking bear that will tear apart the man who hurts you. Do you understand me? Like, and the fact that men do not understand why we would choose the bear literally just proves everything. Stop treating me like I'm a man. I spent the majority of my life being read and treated as a woman, and I still do. So seriously, stop treating me like a man. Do you understand me? Also, it doesn't even matter what I was assigned at birth, but it does matter how I was socialized as. Honestly, it does matter. And I was socialized as female, okay? I was socialized as a woman, and I hold all of those traits all the way through. I will never choose the man because I will always choose the fucking bear.
You can keep living in your la-la land, but I know exactly what you are.
Why do feminists want to smash the patriarchy but not build the matriarchy?
Oh, that's a great question. You'd have to ask a feminist.
Because they like to take down power but not establish it themselves.
Like have a job the same as a man, to be paid the same as a man. That was the original concept of feminism. But now it's turned into something different for certain people and just kind of screaming it and saying, I'm a woman, you need to respect me, when there's no really concept behind it. And so I think women, not all women, but there are some women, just like how there's bad seeds and everything, have this perception of what feminism is, and that's blasted as like the forefront, and it kind of gets messed around. So I don't really think that it's a common thing for women to feel that way. It's just a certain group.
Because feminists never want to actually get anything done. They just want to complain about everything and then tell men to do it for them. But then they'll say equality.